Hi, I'm Dr. Mark, and I'm going to help you sing and perform more like the top artists around the world. I'm a professional voice teacher, performance coach, and opera stage director. I've helped thousands of singers around the world learn the techniques and methods that got the top singers to where they are. Let's talk about what makes BTS's performance of On so awesome. Here we go. Consistent airflow, really speech-like. A lot of black and white contrast. Gorgeous background. So, a few things to point out here. Number one, black and white contrast. What's that all about? So, black and white contrast, if you show pictures to a baby, infants respond a lot to black and white contrast, right? It's just something that is really compelling to us aesthetically because it's just such a sharp contrast. And because they have all these textures going on in their costumes, it's just really exciting to watch. We have the variety that comes in the lights and the colors around it, but that contrast in their costuming keeps our attention focused on them, even though there's so many other things going on with the lights in the background. It's such a strong contrast that our eyes stay focused there. Vocally, it's really cool, as always, that they're able to move so much and keep that airflow really consistent. It means they're doing a lot of work with their abs and keeping that airflow really controlled and in stream, that they're keeping excess tension out of their body so that they are not impeding what's going on vocally. They're letting the muscles that need to stay loose be loose and react so that they can move and dance, and keeping the vocal mechanism itself relatively lined up and tension free. And when I say tension free, obviously we need tension to be able to make sound, but no excess tension. So they're keeping that relatively calm and relaxed, and that's awesome. As always, as a director, one of the things that I love most about watching BTS is how ingenious and consistent they are with drawing our attention to who's being highlighted in that moment. It's just so fluid. You don't even realize it's happening until you realize that they've put whoever is supposed to be looked at in the center of attention back in the center of attention again. And before you know it again, someone else is there in the center of attention, and they're the one singing and the one supposed to be highlighting. And it's always in some new way. They don't do it the same way twice. It constantly keeps shifting in new ways. I just think it's so ingenious, so brilliant, and the consistency just highlights to me how deliberate they are in their choices. To me, the indicator of the level of someone's artistic ability is their ability to be deliberate in their choices and have it look effortless and easy at the same time, which they do. If you ever wonder, anyone could do this, anyone can do this dancing and be able to sing like that, give it a try. It's not that easy, and they do an excellent job. Hear how edgy the sound sounds? If you listen to it closely, you'll realize he's not putting much volume behind it. He's letting the consonants and the shape, the sound, the placement get the sound quality, the edginess, the speech likeness to it. So it's on this edge of singing and rap, back and forth, but without any pressure, strain, stress, or push. That's really important. What we hear on the flip side is something that happens after the mic's done its work. And so the tendency, if we're trying to imitate, is to try to sing at the same volume level that we're used to listening to it on the radio. That's not the same volume level they're singing it at. If you were to take away that mic, you would have a lot better idea of how loud they're singing. And the majority of the time, you're going to realize they're not really singing at a very loud dynamic level. That's one of the ways they're able to do so much physically and sing at the same time and make it all work together, is they stay really easy, really gentle on this voice. They keep that airflow really consistent and then shape the sound to get the sounds that they want without any push, force, or volume behind it. Visually, they're accenting this kind of choppiness with their movements. Awesome. We want to do everything we can do to create visual variety, to create variety in what we're hearing without creating stress or tension here in our voice. So if we don't have to push and strain here, but can still create this kind of abrupt, choppy moment with just stopping the sound and not punching or pushing or pulling off, but keeping it consistent, just stopping the sound and then accenting with our body, that's going to heighten it. It's going to heighten our perception. We're going to hear it different. What we see influences how we hear something. So it's all got to work together, and you can use that to your advantage. Also want to point out here how awesome that background is. Love it. I think it's so awesome. Man, wish I had that big of a stage with that cool of a background. Love it. Notice this give and take of the performers here. Love it. Again, notice how, without even realizing it, you went through each one of them. They each got a cool moment there, but you ended up highlighting the person who's supposed to be singing again. If you have a group like this, remember, whoever's singing has to be the center of attention. They've got to get to a position where they can be the center of attention before they start singing, and everyone else has to do what they can to make sure that that person is the center of attention. There's a million ways to make that happen, but it's got to happen with those elements involved for the audience to really buy into it, believe it, and be grateful because you're telling them where to look and where to focus. Not that you have to tell them where to look and focus all the time, but there's nothing more frustrating for an audience to have to try to search and find who's singing. And when you're a group who's used to performing to huge arenas, it's not doing the audience a favor to try to be subtle about who you're making the center of attention. But it is impressive that they're able to make it super clear who's the center of attention, but do it in a way that's so smooth, so these transitions are just super smooth and you don't even realize that they're happening. So awesome. Okay, real quick, what he was doing there, bent over, looking down at the ground, that's actually a great exercise you can use today to try to feel where your breath is going and try to feel that resistance of those abs staying out. Just find a new position so you aren't carrying tension or trying to hold weight up or your shoulders up. It's just a new way to unlock a few things that you might play with and experiment today. Is that some way we want to sing all the time? No. But what we want to be able to do is we want to have the freedom in our body to be able to move into any position. And we want the consistency of technique and freedom in our vocal mechanism so that no matter what position we are in, we're able to keep that voice working efficiently and consistently and in a way that's easy and not putting strain and stress on the voice. And we really can. We can see example after example in just about every genre and style of people singing in weird, contorted, different positions and doing a beautiful, gorgeous job vocally of singing, even though they're in a strange position. So rather than thinking you have to be in one specific position to be able to sing well, really try to keep things as limber and fluid and dynamic as possible with your body, eliminating excess tensions that don't need to be there and allowing yourself to move. Try it today. Try just walking around and singing, moving as much as your body as possible. You're going to notice that if you're able to do that, it's actually going to free up a lot of your voice, and it's going to show you where your tensions are, because you're going to want to start holding those places. You're going to try to move a place and it won't move. You need to be able to move it. If you can't, then that's a sign that it's probably something you need to be able to release. Does it mean you need to be moving that part of your body the whole time you're singing? No, but you need to be able to be free to move any part of your body in any direction. If you can't, beware. Probably means there's tension that needs to be let go of. Notice the natural word accents and how they're using consonants to make those pop out a little bit. They're being a little more aggressive with the consonants, giving them a little bit more time. They're keeping in balance. They're keeping the balance of vocal fold closure and airflow pressure to get in balance, but just letting it pulse a little bit out. Stronger consonants gives us that pull and brings it back in. It gives us that contrast we need to be able to understand the text, keeps it musical, keeps it intense. Lovely. I'm just blown away by how much they're doing with their body and how consistent and easy their voices stay. I guess they work together. If the voice isn't working consistently and easily and at its most efficient, they wouldn't be able to do all that movement and dancing and still be able to sing that easy. But still, it's just amazing that they're able to keep that consistent of a sound. And with all that movement, especially the really abrupt kind of jerkier movements, it's just mind-blowing. So awesome. Of course, there's the end. Stop it at the worst possible time. Sorry, friends, but awesome. As always, I love BTS. I love the elements that they put in there with story, the drums and back, the drumsticks create a really visually interesting picture, but also contribute to their story. And I think that's what's so awesome. They keep things so visually interesting, but not just for the sake of being visually interesting. It's all suited to tell the story. It's all suited to communicate what the music and text and dance and body language is all working together to tell a story. And I think that's what makes it so compelling and so awesome. If you want a voice lesson, a performance coaching, or want me to work with you or your group to help you sing easier, perform at a consistently higher level, book a time with me at mrperformingartstudio.com. You can also reach out to me on wizio.com and send me a 5-minute video clip or specific questions that you want me to respond to, and I would be happy to respond to that as well. Don't forget to click like and subscribe, and I look forward to working with you more online. See you next time.